Hello there, friends. Welcome to Flying Casual. If you are like the three of us, you likely did not watch Monday Night Football, or you weren't up late enough to watch Monday Night Football and see that a Mandalorian special look dropped at halftime. Didn't watch it until today. I believe Luke and Holly are in the same boat here. Not a big, huge trailer like a lot of people are expecting. No Ahsoka. I mean, I love our group, but boy, those guys were way off. They had some high hopes for this one, and I'm sure they were all disappointed. But no Ahsoka, no anybody. They're just everyone we've ever seen before, other than that one guy with the cool one eye.
Yeah, that one guy.
The old Cyclops.
Sure.
But so we're going to just, take 10 to 15 minutes, talk about this 30-second special look kind of trailer that we got. And I'll be honest, after watching it a few times, I was like, am I missing something? There's just not a whole lot going on here. And Luke says, wait a second. Boy, do I have something to talk about. And I said, thank God, Luke, we're going to start with you. So, Luke, you watched the trailer, unless there's some other trailer out there that I didn't see, and I just got this 30-second special look. I mean, what did you think of this? Was it enough? Was it not enough? Was there some nuggets in there that I missed?
I gotta say, the first time I watched it, I had a moment where I questioned if anything was new in it from what we had seen earlier. There are definitely some new shots, new perspectives, but I think the biggest sort of drop in this one is the framing of what his quest is going to entail, or how it's going to be structured. Yeah. And he says, I need to find more Mandalorians, which kind of like threw me for a loop, because I thought this was all going to be about finding Jedi.
Yeah.
Given what the armorer told him last time, you need to go find his people.
Yeah.
So that set us all off speculating about what Jedi can he connect with, if the interpretation of his people is the Jedi. Yeah. Force wielders of some kind, because we don't think there's like a ton of the species running around out there, so we have to assume it means that. So then for it to be framed, wait, no, first I need to find Mandalorians. Well, why does he need to find Mandalorians first?
Yeah.
If ultimately the goal is still reunite with the people, so it's got to be either he, being that the Jedi are ancient nemesis of Mandalorians, he's maybe scared to go seek out more Jedi by himself and wants like a posse around with him, is kind of my first thought. And then it's obviously fun to think about what Mandalorians he's going to find. And obviously with all the character casting speculation there's been, this line makes sense, because we've heard so much about potential Mandalorians. Boba Fett, Bo-Katan, Sabine. Mm-hmm. But sort of the fun is, well, why is one of them part of the path to finding green beans people?
Yeah. Mind blown. Not to mention, Mando, you were in a hideout full of Mandalorians, if I'm not mistaken. So we'd already found them.
Go back to them.
Why did you let them go away? Holly, am I mistaken? Is Luke onto something? Yeah. He's looking for a whole drum line of flamethrowers to go to attack the Jedi? I mean, what do we got?
No, I think that Luke absolutely is onto something. Especially if you're going to pick something out of a 30-second trailer, that's probably the thing that you're going to focus on, right? Because of all the speculation that we've been giving about, man, what Jedi is he going to find? It has to be Ahsoka. Yeah. But the second part of that line that he says is, he's like, they will help me. And that leads me to question, okay, well, help you with what? Yeah. Because initially we thought that he was going to go find the Jedi and they were going to help him find green beans people, like Luke said. But now I'm wondering, like, is that even the case?
Yeah. So, and he's not naive. He knows the history of the Mandalorian and the Mandos and Mandalore and the Jedi and that battle. I think he referenced them as evil sorcerers or something like that, villains of some sort. So yeah, to me, it has to be he wants backup, right? But like, it seems this is your quest. Why are we diverting to Mandalore now and the Mandalorians? Like, it has to be for backup. I don't know what else that purpose would be.
Or maybe we're just like, you know how Disney likes to kind of lead you on, right?
That's all the trailers
they'll
are.
give you some
huge tease.
information and they'll make it look like a certain thing. But who knows? There could have been some information that he received and like it kind of like sent him off the path of finding the evil sorcerers, as he called them. And he's doing something else now, and I think that would set us up for more seasons of The Mandalorian if that's the route that they want to take, you know, kind of take him off of the path of like bringing the green bean home to his people and taking him along on another ride with him, because we do see that clip over and over again in the trailers that or the 2 trailers that they've released where they're like, this is no place for a child, and he's like, where I go, he goes. And so to me, that kind of like possessive verbiage makes me feel like he's not just going to drop him off with the Jedi, even if he found them.
Yeah. Well, and how good of relations does he have even with the Mandalorians? Like he's I would call him an adopted Mandalorian, kind of, I think, from the history that we know. So, I mean, he needs to even be careful there. Yeah, they did help him out there on that little planet, but we don't even know if they're Mandalorians. Luke, is it possible that they're all kind of this adopted clan and they may not even be welcome, you know, with their own kind? It feels like a loner, and for someone to just kind of, maybe they were just doing the right thing in the moment, but they kind of left him high and dry and said, well, you're on your own now, and they're not really sticking together. So maybe none of them are Mandalorians. I don't know.
Well, Michael, it's like Highlander with the clans. And there can be only one. No, they're clan people, you know? So one Mandalorian is not representative of all Mandalorians, and the different clans have different ways of doing things and different views on things. So I think we are seeing, Din Djarin is in one sect, one clan of Mandalorian way of doing things, way of thinking, and way of going about things. And he must need to connect with different clans to some degree, because I bet he still knows where some of those, you kind of joke like, he knows a bunch of Mandalorians already. Back at the place underground with the tunnels. But he needs different Mandalorians than his clan, apparently, for whatever, sets him off on this path. So that's where we're going to see a lot of speculation, obviously, around like Clan Vizsla, Clan Ren.
Yeah.
Is where his path will lead.
Yeah, it doesn't, and not to mention, like, spoiler, not a lot of Jedi around right now. So this search for Jedi is going to be very difficult, and it's going to take a while. So, I mean, the show's called The Mandalorian. If all these rumors are true, they're all going to kind of come together, and maybe they'll find Ahsoka. I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore. I know Holly's not a big fan of that idea.
I'm not. But okay,
that's okay.
So who would be a better Jedi hunter then? The Empire or the Mandalorian?
Yeah, it would kind of be cool if he didn't get along with them. I don't know. I think that would kind of be cool. Yeah, because it's not that simple of a world. It's not, and that's what's great about the Mandalorians. They're kind of that kind of third rung out there, that like they don't side with the Empire, they don't side with the Jedi, they don't side with the Sith, they don't side with the Republic. Like, I kind of like that. And so even if maybe he didn't get along with him, he was like, I'm not leaving this kid with those crazies. Like, are you serious? Like, no, he's my kid.
And that's the thing, right? Is that like he's not going to really side with the Empire because they tried to take the child from him, right?
Yeah.
So he already kind of like sees them as the enemy in a way, right? Because they were coming.
I'm talking about the
child.
Jedi.
Well, but I'm saying he wouldn't side with the Empire even if he was hey, we're looking for the same thing,
absolutely.
so let's work together to find it. That wouldn't happen, I guess.
Yeah. So not a ton of new action. I mean, we kind of get that ice planet. It looks like his ship's going down. I like that it sounds like an X-Wing pilot calling him like, Razor Crest, stand down. It's like, or did they shoot him down? Maybe they did a little nudge there in one of the engines and he has to crash land. It kind of seems like he's going to be stranded for a bit and need to make some money maybe or whatever. I hope we see him in the fight ring with our green friends. Why do I forget?
Gamorreans.
Yeah.
What did
They're green tights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think I've seen some people kind of talking about this, and people are like, "Man, this is he's gonna take his helmet off. We're gonna see his face." Do you think that fight ring like would be the time for him to do that? Because like, I feel like if he gets his ass knocked out, which I kind of feel like for comedic relief, they would have him.
Well, so we did see his face. You remember that, right?
Okay.
Oh, no. Holly forgets.
I mean,
No, he's going to be like loincloth only, but the helmet's still on.
see,
Wrestling.
there it is, I guess.
This is a great image.
Yeah, everything else is fine. Those aren't. I don't care. But
we
the
just
helmet,
went back to
don't
like
touch it.
weird,
Yeah.
like ancient Greece Star Wars crossover.
Maybe. I mean, the Gamorreans aren't wearing much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next question.
Yeah.
When are we going to see Moff Gideon come back in with the Darksaber?
That's
That's what I want to know.
That's gotta be. That ain't gonna be anywhere close to the beginning of the season. Maybe not even this season. I kind of think that's a cool tease, and then we don't talk about it all season 2. I'm okay with that, or we can talk about it, but I'm okay with him kind of being off. Getting a posse of his own, or maybe he's rounding up the Mandalorians, and this is going to be a huge issue for Din. Like, oh crap, not this guy again, and he's round up my friends, because if we believe Rebels and we believe all these Mandos just kind of blindly will follow whoever is capable of wielding this Darksaber, then they may just follow this guy regardless of who he is. I don't know, Luke, is that a possibility that he's rounding up Mando supporters and creating a little clan of his own, and that could put Din in it could isolate Din, I guess, in the Mando family.
Yeah, you and Holly are both onto some really good stuff here. We saw, through Rebels and Clone Wars, different clans taking different side in battles. So you saw the Mandalorians who were loyal to Maul.
Yeah.
And then the ones who rallied around Bo-Katan in the season 7 of Clone Wars. So I think it would be cool to see Gideon kind of rounding up sort of his Mandalorians, and some that then our Mandalorian Din has to go up against one of his own kind, which we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen the Mando on Mando battle, so that'd be kind of cool. And then when Holly said, I had a great line a few minutes ago, was who's the better hunter of the Jedi, or who's the bet, and that got me thinking of who is the hunter and who's being hunted right now. Presumably Mandalorians on the quest to go find more Mandalorians, and eventually somewhere down the road, more Jedi or Force wielders, or even more of the Yoda species. But what is Moff Gideon doing at this time? Is Gideon still on his trail?
Yeah.
Or did the tables get reversed in some way, and where they figure out there's something Gideon has that I'm going to need, so I'm actually hunting Gideon rather than Mando always being sort of the hunted one, the one on the run. I could see it kind of twisting and turning in sort of that cat and mouse flipping back and forth, or there's like a dog, a cat, and a mouse, and there's so many parties involved, and who's chasing who, and which direction are they going?
Well, let me pose something to you, Holly.
Okay, big plot twist.
Let's say that Moff Gideon is willing to part ways with the Darksaber for a price.
No, the child for the Darksaber?
Is that something that Din would even consider? He obviously wants to be a Mandalorian. He's out hunting for the armor. Like, what exactly does this child mean to him? Like, get it's his quest, but to wield the Darksaber and have the ultimate power of Mandalore? Holly?
Okay, that's nutty. First of all, it is an innocent child.
Yeah.
So what does it mean to him? I don't know, the price of his childhood that he lost.
Yeah,
and
that Darksaber's pretty precious, though.
Maybe that's why he needs help from the Mandalorians. He's going to sweet talk them and get them all on his side, and they're all going to go after the Darksaber.
Well, that's a tall task, though. When if you're asking people to go against the guy that's wielding the Darksaber,
is it because we know that some of them defect? We saw that happen in Rebels.
Well, yeah, there's some good ones out there, obviously, but the more I think about it, and I've never even really thought about the Mandalorian being this huge power struggle, just with the Darksaber, and if you get Bo-Katan and other characters in here that may be worthy, I don't know. Will Din end up with the Darksaber in the end? I feel like he's more of a oh my gosh, Sabine. Why I don't know, brain lapse of all the characters in Star Wars right now, but I kind of look at him as a Sabine maybe. reluctant to wield the power, and he's just trying to do the right thing, right? Raise a child out on a sand planet. I don't know.
Out on a sand planet. Lots of children,
Yeah.
orphaned children being raised on sand planets.
That are very force sensitive.
Also, we should get more background on him this season, right? Because we only know very little.
Yeah, I mean, will we get more flashbacks? Is that we started off every episode getting a flashback, and I feel like that kind of stopped at some point. Luke, are we going to learn more about this guy's background, or I mean, is that some of the beauty of it all that we don't need to, or maybe we don't want to?
I would think that there's not too much more significant to his background. I think the big revelation is he was saved by Mandalorians. He was an orphan of just normal people, nothing significant, not connected to anyone in particular that we know as a character. So I think that whole reveal kind of is self-contained in season 1. I don't expect to see like a revelation about his past in the way that the Rey speculation continued through all of the sequel trilogy in that regard.
Yeah, it could be a fair question.
But I do want to throw out some speculation. I talked a minute ago about, what kind of Mandalorians might team up with Moff Gideon, and there's all these Boba Fett rumors. I'm trying to think, like, how does he fit in this discussion we've been having? Because there's so many rumors and even hints in season 1 of his presence. And when you think about Boba and Jango Fett, in the Clone Wars, people on Mandalore say, oh, Jango's not really Mandalorian.
Yeah.
He's just kind of a guy who put on the armor and became a bounty hunter. So he's kind of outside of Mandalorian culture. And therefore Boba is as well. And so, he's just a hired gun, a mercenary. So if anyone's going to team up with somebody like Gideon, if Gideon's going to get his own Mando to work with him, it makes sense to me, kind of like maybe that's Boba Fett. He brings back into the fold on his side.
Yeah, the imposter, like Luke said, he's just kind of out to do a job.
Yeah.
He's not really power hungry that we know of. He would be the perfect guy to team up and maybe hunt Din and the child.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that, like, Boba Fett has been full of surprises before. Like, you expect him to do a certain thing or act a certain way, and then, like we've seen in the past, he kind of is like, oh, like, I think that curiosity gets the best of him, and he's kind of like, I want to see how this plays out. So, like, I'm going to go along with this for a little bit. I mean, we saw that in Dark Disciple. We've seen that a few other times, and I'm like, I mean, if we are having that conversation of where he fits in and all of this, I think go either way. But I guess, like, with Boba Fett, there's no really, like, surprises because he could do anything.
Well, let's throw out some predictions, because everyone and their mother predicted that we were going to see some big characters in this thing, and we saw nothing.
Good.
And that is good, whether these characters are going to be in there or not. But what, over under 50% is Boba Fett, played by Tamura Morrison, in this television show, Luke? Over under 50%.
I think it's over, because I think Favreau is known to have really just wanted this character to be Boba Fett all along. Yeah. And was told, no, he couldn't quite do that. So I think he's going to find a way to work him in. And I'm going through my season 1 rewatch, and I'm on the final episode now. And I watched that episode 5 on Tatooine not that long ago. And there's still that ending sequence, that last shot that really seems like it might be Boba Fett there. And that little thread was never really fully picked up on in season 1. So I'm thinking over.
Ollie?
Oh, no. Well, Luke and I are very different. That doesn't happen all the time, but I was thinking under 50%.
Okay.
But that might actually be my own biases. See, Luke went off of historically what happened in season 1, and I'm just going off of my own feelings. Yeah. So maybe I'm more like, I would like that to be under 50%. Yeah. I almost said 50 Cent. Like, what?
Is 50 Cent in The Mandalorian?
Boba Fett's going to the candy shop. I don't know.
Oh, my God. Go ahead, girl. Don't you stop. Oh, my God.
Explicit.
Sorry, guys. This is a podcast that's rated M.
For
Mandalorian.
Yes.
Okay. I lost my train of thought. I love Boba Fett, but I think the more I'm thinking about what I want from the show, the less I want these big names in it, and the more I just want it to be what we got in season 1 with maybe some small references to the big characters, but not actually them.
Outside of what you want, though, what's the likelihood?
I'm still going to say under 50%.
Under 50%? Okay. I think of the characters we've all talked about, I feel like Boba Fett's one that, you know, he's always looked cool and he's fascinated people, but there's not a whole lot to Boba Fett. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't really know what Boba Fett's like, and we see him a little more in the comics. Yeah, he's kind of a dick. But, like, I don't know. This is kind of the opportune time in this show to kind of flesh out Boba Fett a little more. And we saw him as a kid. Yeah, he was a dick then, too, in the Clone Wars or Rebels. I can't remember which that was in. But this feels like that kind of show that he would fit in with. As, you know, all the other, you know, mercenaries or bounty hunters. But I'm going to say over 50 because I feel like he could be useful, and I think it's a character that people want to see more of. Now, I want to ask the same question, and I'll start with you, Holly, about Ahsoka, because this is a character created by Dave Filoni. It feels like he's going to make it happen over under 50% of the likelihood.
Okay. First of all, I'm still going to say under 50%.
Okay. You're keeping it small. I like it.
Okay, but I'll tell you guys why. This one has a much more legitimate reasoning than my own personal feelings about Boba Fett.
Okay.
Anyway, I think that Ahsoka is too big and too important of a character to have her show up in The Mandalorian as a live action character. I think that kind of sets you up for having that actor play live action Ahsoka in anything going forward.
Yeah.
And that makes me nervous that we're just going to pick an actress to give her a cameo.
Couldn't agree more.
In the show, and then we're kind of stuck with whoever that actress is. And I feel like Ahsoka deserves more as a character than just to kind of like reintroduce her in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
To like hype her up for her own show or movie.
Yeah, Holly's really concerned about that supposed reveal of an actress to be named.
But it's not even about the actress. I think any actress, like the more I think about it, at first I was like, oh my God, I'm so on board. Ahsoka's one of my favorite characters, like hands down, ever. But I just think that I don't want to see her served in injustice, which I don't think that Favreau or Filoni would do. I definitely trust them. I know I've said that before in the past, but it just like still I have some reservations about it. It makes me a little nervous.
Yeah, who knows? Could just be Ahsoka, you know, dropping her hood, and that's it. That may be all we see, and it's like,
that would be fine.
What happened? That could be the end of the show.
I think that would be cool. I just like don't really want too much more than anything like that.
That's
like,
fair. That's fair. Luke, Ahsoka, yay or nay?
This is a tough one for me. I'm having a hard time removing kind of all the speculation and reports again from my prediction. And I think Rosario Dawson's been pretty coy when asked about all the rumors, as you would probably expect, but like not so coy that it seemed like they were way off base. Yeah. So I want to say because of that, it's over 50. But like Holly said, I don't think even if she's in it, that it's that significant of a portion of an episode, and certainly not like season 1 or episode 1 through 8. Like she's there every time. No way. It makes me think of, End of Rebels season 1, where all she does is like walk down a ladder and say, hi.
That's true.
I think something more than that, but less than like being in a full episode, probably like, and maybe towards the end of the season.
Yeah. The more I think about it, the more I like her just in the series finale at the end, just dropping her hood. That'd find her. And then who knows? Can you imagine if Ahsoka lives long enough or whatever, her and the child running around doing Force things? That'd be freaking sweet. I'd be down. Let's go find Ezra. Hey, you have this, weird Force power that I don't, like I don't know, psychometry or whatever. We need to go find this kid. He's out in the unknown regions now. I'd be down for that. So yeah, just tease her or use her minimally, because I think she does deserve something bigger and kind of focused on her. So I'll go under 50 just to keep it interesting. But and at least
she's kind of a logical conclusion to the find more Mandalorians chain link.
Yeah.
Like if you find a Bo-Katan, that could lead you to Sabine, or if you just go straight to Sabine, those can connect you to Ahsoka pretty quick.
Yeah.
So it makes sense towards like the end of the season.
Yeah, she's very familiar with the Mandalorians too. She's fought the Mandalorians, so it's. Ugh.
That's true. I don't know if we're going to kind of like allude to her throughout this season too, and then have her just kind of like there at the season finale. It would be kind of cool if like in some different shots and stuff, like they maybe like hinted at it, like you see her owl or like something like that. I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind like an homage to Ahsoka, just to, especially since, you know, it's Filoni's baby, but.
Can you imagine he stumbles across her makeshift grave site there on whatever planet was? He just finds these sabers.
It is an ice planet.
I'm just making connections like the rest of the internet does. Like, there's snow there. It has to be Hoth. It's like, okay.
Oh, yeah. Twitter loves to do that.
There could be answers with some of these questions kind of hidden in plain sight. I don't know if they've released, like, who's directing what episode numbers or how many episodes each director is doing. Yeah. Like, if Filoni only has one episode, you might want to put a bullseye on that for the most likely place for Ahsoka to show up, because like you said, it's his baby. So if like they're going to put her in, they'd say, all right, she appears in the episode, you lead.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think he's directing at least one, but I don't know if they've said what the orders are of the directors. So
are we getting all the same directors?
No. Some of them are returning, but not every single one that directed in the first season.
Interesting.
There's some new ones,
There's some new ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I haven't really looked into that, so I think that's pretty cool. I'm kind of curious to see.
Yeah.
Is Taika Waititi returning?
Ooh, that might be one that I'm not actually certain of.
He's too busy with his movie.
I don't think so. I'm trying to bring up like season 2 list real quick, but I think because he's assigned to start working on a film that he's not doing season 2. And then like Deborah Chow is tasked with Kenobi, so I don't know if she was involved in season 2 as well. Yep.
That makes sense. I don't know. I think it's really cool. I think that's something Star Wars has done historically is kind of like bring in these small small casts and small crew members and kind of like help them boost their careers. And I feel like that's something Star Wars is good at, no matter like if people didn't really like their work or not. So I think that we've kind of seen that in the past. So I'm kind of excited to get some like fresh eyes, if you will.
Yeah, it's always
I've tracked it down. The new directors who weren't in season 1 are Peyton Reed, who I'm not familiar with, Robert Rodriguez, Carl Weathers is directing an episode, and Jon Favreau is, which he didn't actually direct an episode in season 1. I guess Reed has done Ant-Man movies for Marvel.
Peyton Reed did.
Rodriguez known for Sin City.
Yeah. Bring It On.
Great freaking movie. I'm a big fan of Bring It On.
Oh.
Well, it feels like, okay, after watching this special look, I was like, wow, that was lame. It was 30 seconds. We really didn't get much. It prompted a 30-minute discussion. I don't know how, but it did. So what is today? The 20th?
Where's your watch?
Oh, it's busy running the cameras. So we have 10 days. We have 10 days until The Mandalorian. Will we get anything else? Maybe a couple TV spots. No. It's not going to be anything significant, but man, we have 10 days to prepare for this, and then we're going to start doing weekly podcasts about The Mandalorian. I cannot wait. So
I will share something with everybody. I was texting my mom earlier because she's buying us a Star Wars rug, which is pretty cool. Thanks, Mom. But she texted me, and she said, The Mandalorian is back soon. Yay. I can't wait. Yep. I said, what did you think of the first season? Like, my parents, they're not, like, big Star Wars people, but they like it. My dad always, I mean, I think everyone, if you listen to some of our older episodes, my dad kind of, like, made fun of me because he was like, yeah, I saw the original trilogy in theaters. Yeah. What kind of fan are you? Like, he was kind of, like, joking. My mom said, I loved it. I feel like I probably shouldn't watch season 2 until your dad is back so we can watch it together.
Oh, that's sweet. Guys, if you know Holly's family, give them some love. Maybe not. That would be creepy.
No, it'd be nice. Give my parents some love. My dad's down in Alabama working on their house down there that got damaged in the hurricane. And
Do you want to give out the address too, Holly? Maybe everyone can stop by.
no, I'm just saying.
Mando watch party.
Yeah, seriously.
Alabama.
That's so
Awesome.
funny. But anyway, I just thought it was kind of cute that my mom was like, I want to watch it, but I think I have to wait. It's become like their thing that they watch together is some Star Wars stuff.
Adorable. The Mandalorian bringing all the feels here on the podcast.
And the family together.
Oh, always touches you in places you never knew you could be touched. Thanks, Mando. Well, guys, what did you think of this special look? Were you disappointed? I feel like our Facebook group was. The silence on the topic is deafening in the group there, so we'll have to kind of hash out what people are feeling. What are they feeling, if anything good about that? But we'll get to the bottom of it in only 10 days, guys, before we see our first full episode. Hopefully it's longer than 20 minutes. I really hope that they're longer episodes. But we will find out. So, guys, if you enjoyed this, go ahead and like and subscribe. Check out our podcast every Monday morning at 6 a.m. Eastern for a lengthy 1.5 to 2 hour discussion every Monday on all podcast feeds. So I hope you enjoyed this. Looking forward to the Mando. Expect to hear from us soon. And as always, may the Force be with you.